Good morning, welcome back to the shop. Dave here. Up until now, you've seen me working on nothing but boxes because I'm a box maker and I'm also a canoe paddle maker. As you can see over my shoulder here, you can see it all, I've got 6 paddles in the works, and these are some that I've had in progress for about a year now. But in the winter time, I've been concentrating on making boxes, but I thought I better get these paddles done and out of the shop. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them all. I'll make some donations to organizations that are doing some charity work, school where my grandkids go. I'll probably donate one to them for the auction coming up next fall. I donated one box that got the school a couple $100 for that donation, and I'll be donating a paddle to that. One of these is for a friend of mine who started it and she's unable to finish because she's got work to do, so I'm going to be doing that. There comes she who must be obeyed, coming in to give me an update on the Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'll probably cut this video maybe a little bit shorter than what I would have. But these are canoe paddles made largely from pine and cedar. I sourced the cedar and pine from my local big box store, and I took a paddle making class, I don't know how many years ago it was, and thought it would be kind of fun to do some of my own, and since then I've made 24 so far, and another 6 will make 30, and then I don't know, I might be kind of done with them. Hard to say. Anyway, a little bit about the paddle. They are 7 pieces of dark cedar and pine, and I put an accent piece up in the top. They are bent at an 11-degree angle, which is traditionally what a bent shaft canoe paddle is bent at, somewhere between 11 and 13 degrees. And the blades are largely made up of, again, pine, dark cedar. Sometimes I'll put an accent piece in. I generally have some African padauk, which is a nice bright red or orange wood as the accent pieces, and then I put hardwood on the exterior portion of the blade. They're decorative paddles. I suppose you could use them as a real canoe paddle, but they're largely hung on people's walls in their cabins and in their shops. So I've been using traditional tools for this. The wood is milled up a 1/4 by a 1/4 inch shaft and hard 90-degree edges, and I use draw knives to shape those to a certain specification deemed by me to be enough to start using a spoke shave. And I use my shave horse that I built to help hold that wood. Does a really nice job. I was using a vise when I first started, and it gets really hard to constantly tighten the vise down, put it in, tighten the vise down, shave as much as you can, then you got to loosen the vise, turn it, tighten the vise. So this happens to work really well, and it holds it in almost any different angle. And then I use the spoke shave to shave these. Now this shave horse was called a bodger's bench in England decades ago. They would actually break this down into 3, 4, 5 different pieces, carry it into the woods, I cut limbs off of trees and make stringers, legs, arms for chairs, and using wet wood as opposed to dry wood. It's much easier to and easier on the equipment to use wood when it's pulled right off the tree. Those folks were called bodgers, so these were called bodgers benches. Right now we call them shave horses, bodgers bench, a variety of different things, but it provides a nice, easy way of holding that wood, loosening it, tightening it up, and the actual action of pulling back forces you to push forward with your feet and closing that and giving you a nice tight fit, and gives you really good control over everything as you're working the wood and shaving those things, shaving the shafts, which of course is why they call it a shave horse, because you're shaving the wood with your spoke shave. Spoke shave is traditionally made for making spokes on wheels and do this kind of work. So I'm going to work on these today. The shafts are kind of round. You don't ever make them totally round, but you make them as round as possible, and then of course that gives you the nice change in color from the light wood to the dark wood. So there are a variety of different methods and different kinds of shave horses, bodgers benches. This happens to be one that I made out of wood that came out of the scrap pile, so works really well. So I'm gonna get to doing that once I'm done getting these things shaped how I want them. Then I'll do some final sanding. I'll put a coat of varnish on them, or maybe on these I'll make it easy on myself and do a spray as opposed to applying it with a brush. Haven't figured that out yet, but sometime between now and then, as I'm sitting doing this therapeutic work and listening to some music, I'll figure that out, and you'll see it perhaps on the next video. So I'll get these done, and then I don't know what I'm going to do next. Probably figure out some different boxes to make. Had the granddaughter over, she's 12, started last Friday. She made a box for herself. She used the spoke shaves, the shave horse, draw knives, and some cedar, and made about a 11-inch wooden, I can call it a dagger or whatever. You know how kids are. She loves to come in the shop and work with me, but she finished her box, and of course I'm trying to watch her, make sure she operates the saws and the routers and everything else safely. And then after she was all done, I thought, well, now that would have been kind of a cool video. So maybe next time she comes, I'll shoot some video of her doing that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get these worked on. They won't get done today. They may not even get done this week, but it gives me something to do, because if I wasn't doing this, I'd be sitting on my rear end, maybe reading, and I just haven't been able to do that, in spite of the fact that I have an extensive library of books that I said in retirement I'm going to read all these books, and all I've done since retirement is collect more books to read that I haven't read, that I'm not sure I ever will. But I'm an avid reader, and so should you. So, back to making shavings. You guys have a good day. See you on the next video. Take care. God bless. Dave out.